What's up, everybody? It's Lego Lover 117 coming back at you for another video. Today's video, as you can see in front of you, is my complete Blu-ray / DVD collection video. And man, guys, I had no idea how much my collection had grown since last year, but looking at the sizes of these stacks in front of me, it has grown substantially. You can't even see the tops of these on the camera right now. Let me pick it up here. There's the stacks of the Blu-rays. They get 2 full stacks this year. There's all the DVDs. Like I say, you can't even see the tops of these in this camera shot, but man, I have a bit of a problem. So anyway, let's go ahead and get started. We'll start with the stack over here, the farthest away, next to the stack of Seinfeld seasons. We'll start off on the top here. SpongeBob Complete Season 1. I do not have the box for it. I lost that years ago. Season 2. Season 3. This is a great way to start off this video with SpongeBob Complete Collections. Season 4, Volume 2. That's the second volume of Season 4. I don't have the first. Season 5, Volume 2. And Season 6, Volume 1. So I own half of each of those seasons. So it's kind of sad. You know what? Instead of having to bend over, I'm just going to move this stack closer to me. Here we go. That's a little better. Oh. And look, you can see the opening over there. This video has already started off non-professionally, but I don't care. We're not going back. Goldfinger and Dr. No, both of those were gifts from me granddad. Monsters vs. Aliens. From what I remember, that's pretty underrated. Jungle Book. Barnyard. Pretty good Nickelodeon film. Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs. We're going through kind of the kiddie section first off. This is stuff I've had since I was young. Zookeeper. I watched that once as a kid, forgot everything about it. Kung Fu Panda 1 and Kung Fu Panda 2. The rare occasion where the sequel is better than the original. Toy Story, Toy Story 2, and Toy Story 3. One of the rare trilogies where each installment is better than the last one. That's right, I think Toy Story 3 is the best Toy Story film. Fight me on that. Ratatouille. Bolt. It's a SpongeBob Christmas, which is that stop-motion SpongeBob short that Nickelodeon made a few years ago. SpongeBob Legends of Bikini Bottom. Friend or Foe. Lost in Time. And the SpongeBob film, because no DVD collection is complete without that film. What's New Scooby-Doo Season 1 and What's New Scooby-Doo Season 2. Good Will Hunting. Jimmy Neutron Boy Genius. Arnold Schwarzenegger's The Last Stand. I think I saw that once, haven't watched it since. Adventures of Clutch Powers. I'm a little disappointed that didn't get a sequel. Got some plot threads hanging there that I wish they would have answered. Ninjago. Just the first 2 episodes of the Ninjago TV series. It's kind of a pilot thing that they did, and then Season 1 of Ninjago, Season 2 of Ninjago, the only 2 seasons that were necessary, and then Season 5, because Seasons 3 and 4 were released in volumes, and I hate when they do that. Round out this stack, Lego Star Wars The Empire Strikes Out. I love those little Lego Star Wars shorts. Now we're going to move on to this stack over here. So here, I'll move it forward. Trying to go through this kind of rapid fire style, so it doesn't take as long as some of my previous collection videos do. The Essential Bugs Bunny collection. Always need Looney Tunes in your DVD collection, or else it's not complete. Mega Mind. Not a bad DreamWorks film. Titanic. I kind of hate that movie. Justice League Gotham City Breakout. Master of the Lemons hates this movie, but I think it's hilarious. The Joker talks to a spoon. Cars. DVD full screen version, but you will be seeing Cars again in the Blu-ray section, spoiler alert. Cars 2, which I think is better than the first Cars. I like Cars 2, screw it. Major's Tall Tales, those are pretty fun, I guess. Wreck-It Ralph, Ice Age 1 and Ice Age 2, which is a double pack, and then Ice Age 3. I saw 4 in theaters when that originally came out, but I have not seen 5. I think they went one too many with that. Johnny Test, Super Smarty Pants. This has like 20 different Johnny Test episodes on it. This was actually a really good Cartoon Network series. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Turtles Forever, the best Ninja Turtles film, other than Out of the Shadows, because that one was just great. Looney Tunes Show Season 1, Volume 1. I love the Looney Tunes Show. I really hate that it was canceled after Season 2, and then Season 1, Volume 2. Do not have Volume 3, because there were 3 volumes, or 3 or 4 volumes. A little mini rant. I hate when studios put out their seasons in volumes. I hate that. It just makes me pay more. Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and then its sequel, Roderick Rules. Don't have Dog Days. I didn't think that was too particularly good, and then I did not see The Long Haul in theaters, because that's just awful. And even now, still haven't seen it. Lilo and Stitch, my favorite Disney film. Lilo and Stitch 2, completely unnecessary sequel, and is actually really bad. Stitch, the movie, so the pilot to the TV series, which was an excellent television series, and then Leroy and Stitch, the ending to that TV series. I think Leroy and Stitch is probably my favorite of the Lilo and Stitch films. Top Gun, probably one of the most homoerotic films I've ever seen in my life. There is a scene where a bunch of shirtless men play volleyball on a beach that serves no purpose to the plot. Forrest Gump, I can see why people like this, but I didn't particularly care for it. I'm sorry, maybe I'm heartless. Now, Walk the Line, on the other hand, this is a great drama. Must admit, really, really good. My mom actually recommended I see that, and I'm glad I did. Huge fan of Johnny Cash up in here. Home Improvement, Season 1. Home Improvement, one of the best Tim Allen shows, as well as Last Man Standing. Man, Last Man Standing is great for a conservative like me. Aladdin, of course. I mean, that's probably one of Disney's best. Shark Week, Jawsome Encounters. I love sharks, if you guys didn't know, and I saw this in Walmart a few months ago, and I was like, oh, hey, I'll pick that up. And I have since watched all the episodes on here. There's 13. Okay, 13. Now we move into the Seinfeld collection, which is complete, so Seasons 1 and 2, because Season 1 is only like 5 episodes long. Season 3, 4, 5, 6, which is in a different case, and it kind of bugs me as being, a completionist and all that. But you know what? I have the whole series, so I don't really care. Season 7, where the show kind of started to fall off the rails a little bit. Season 8, which was good, and then Season 9, which was an alright send-off to the show. I must admit, though, the finale is not what I thought it was going to be, but it also wasn't particularly good looking back on it. I think it could have been done a little better. Alright, now we're moving on to this stack right here, and look at that! We're already 2 stacks down, and it's only the first, 10 minutes of this video. So, hey, maybe it won't be over a half hour. I'm gonna scoot the camera a little closer here so I can get closer to the stack. Gone with the Wind. I have not seen that film. I got that from my great-grandma, I think, from her house when she moved. The Bee Movie. Oh boy. At Edward the Great 248, I know this is your favorite film because of all of the memes. Over the Hedge. The Lego Movie. The Incredibles, Monsters, Inc. Incredibles, man. That's obviously the best Pixar film. Polar Express. Looks kind of creepy looking back on it now. Talladega Nights, my absolute favorite comedy of all time. I love that film. Jaws. Do not watch that if you're going to the beach anytime soon. The Expendables 2, man. You guys already know, second favorite movie of all time. The original Expendables, which I think is pretty good as well. Saving Private Ryan, the best war film that has ever been made. Taken, I've seen this once. I feel like I need to watch it again, because it's been a long time since I've actually seen it. Speed, starring Keanu Reeves. Whoa, man, there's a bomb on the bus. Space Jam. Me and my friend actually went to see that in theaters for its 20th anniversary. Oh man, it was a surreal experience, let me tell you. Jack Reacher. Look, I love Tom Cruise. But man, this movie was just bad. I did not care for Jack Reacher at all. Mission Impossible 3 and Mission Impossible 2. 2 is probably the worst of the Mission Impossible films. Actually, not even probably, it is. Got Kill Bill Volume 2 and Kill Bill Volume 1. Both excellent Quentin Tarantino films, although they are a little weak in terms of storyline, but, you know, they're still pretty fun. Got a 3-pack of Quentin Tarantino films, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, and Jackie Brown. I gotta say, when I first saw Reservoir Dogs, I was like, yeah, this is alright, but I don't know why people were like, Quentin Tarantino is one of the best filmmakers ever. So I was like, yeah, Reservoir Dogs is good, but I still think Pulp Fiction is Tarantino's best film. And then Jackie Brown, I think, is his worst, if I'm gonna be honest. I mean, it's not bad. It's just kind of, I don't know, there was just something I didn't like about it. I can't really say what it was. Matrix Collection. I have finally seen the Matrix sequels. In like every other collection video leading up to 2017, I've said I have not seen the Matrix sequels. I finally have, and guess what? I hate them. Transporter 1 and 2, still hate Transporter 2, refuse to see Transporter 3 because that film was so bad. Rush Hour Collection. I've seen Rush Hour 1, still have not seen Rush Hour 2 or 3. I've owned that for what, like 3 years now? Bourne Legacy, Bourne Ultimatum, Bourne Supremacy, the original, The Bourne Identity. The original Bourne collection, all pretty great action films. The Bourne Legacy was alright. Men in Black 2, the worst Men in Black film. It's just, it was a mess. Ghostbusters, not the remake. The original. Because the original is obviously better. Have not seen Ghostbusters 2, but I've heard it's not as good, but it's also not horrible. Star Trek Into Darkness. I honestly thought that film was actually really good. I'm sorry to those of you that hate that, but I liked it. But it does not beat the original Star Trek from 2009. When I say original Star Trek, I mean first one from 2009. I don't mean OG, like 1960s Trek, alright? I've seen those films too, and let me tell you, they're not anything to write home about. Except for Wrath of Khan. Wrath of Khan was pretty good. On Her Majesty's Secret Service. Have not seen that yet. The Sean Connery Collection, Volume 2. This includes Thunderball, You Only Live Twice, and Diamonds Are Forever. The only one I've seen in here is Thunderball, and it was okay. Wasn't anything to write home about. The Daniel Craig Collection, which includes Casino Royale, Quantum of Solace, and Skyfall. I've seen all 3 of these, and Casino Royale is the best one. I'm sorry. Skyfall was alright. It wasn't anything particularly great. Die Hard 4-film collection. Die Hard, Die Hard 2, Die Harder, Die Hard with a Vengeance, and Live Free or Die Hard. I get why people like Die Hard 3 a lot, but you just can't beat the OG, man. You can't beat the original. Peanuts Holiday Collection. I watch these every year whenever Christmas/Thanksgiving/Halloween rolls around. Avatar The Last Airbender Complete Season 2 and Complete Season 3. I am looking into getting Season 1, alright? I know I've said in past collections that, oh hey, I'll get Season 1 eventually. I actually have about 6 of them saved on my watch list on eBay. So I will be getting one eventually, and I will be re-watching the entire series. Because Avatar The Last Airbender is amazing. Okay, so I moved the camera over because we only have 3 stacks left, and we're only like 20 minutes into this video, maybe a little less than that, probably around 15 or so. But we only have 1 more stack of DVDs to go through, and then 2 giant stacks of Blu-rays. So, let's jump into it. The Blade Collection. This does not have Blade 3 in it. I got that from a friend, and he was like, oh, yeah, I have Blade 3 at home. I'll give it to you eventually, and he never did. So I just went ahead and bought Blade 3. And honestly, Blade 3 is okay. It's not particularly great, but I think it and Blade 2 are kind of in the same ballpark. Like, they're not as good as Blade 1. 4 film favorites, Batman Collection. Ooh boy, I own the Tim Burton films and the Joel Schumacher films. The Joel Schumacher films, not by choice. They're horrible, obviously. Everything that's bad has already been said about them. Batman Begins, The Dark Knight, and The Dark Knight Rises. Now, I know a lot of you are saying in the comments right now Lego lover, why don't you own the Dark Knight films on Blu-ray? Well, because they're not my favorite films, okay? They are all great films, I'll be honest, but they're not my favorites, so I don't see a need to have them on Blu-ray. The Punisher, starring Thomas Jane from, 2004, I think? 2003? That was okay. However, the Netflix Punisher is a huge improvement. John Bernthal is amazing as that character. Iron Man, The Incredible Hulk. Here we get into the MCU stuff. Iron Man 2, Thor, the original, and the Avengers. Now, I know what you're also thinking, Lego lover. Iron Man and the Avengers are like your favorite films ever. Why don't you own them on Blu-ray? Hang on just a minute when we get to the Blu-ray stack. Iron Man 3 and Thor the Dark World, that ends the MCU for me on DVD. Fantastic Four. Honestly, I think that film's better than Fant Four Stick. Sue me. Oh, my knee's in the shot. My apologies there. 2 copies of Rise of the Silver Surfer. I think I've told this story in every single collection video, but I'll tell it again for the new fans that don't know. I bought this copy of Fantastic Four Rise of the Silver Surfer at FYE before getting the second one, and it has some sticky residue on it. It's not really sticky anymore because I've had it for years now, but this disc got stuck inside of my DVD player, and I thought, oh well, crap, it's lost forever. I'll never be able to get it back. Might as well go buy a new one. And I rushed to eBay and bought a second copy, and yeah, obviously we got the disc out, but now I have 2 copies. So I don't know. I've always said I might sell one, but I never have for some reason. Spider-Man, Spider-Man 2, and Spider-Man 3. These 3 films, they're good. Not Spider-Man 3, but Spider-Man 1 and 2 are good. However, Tom Holland is the best Spider-Man. Don't even try to fight me on it. The Amazing Spider-Man. Do not own The Amazing Spider-Man 2. That is a pile of trash. X-Men First Class. I honestly don't understand why people have such a love for this film. I know that the host of Now Playing podcast, Arnie, Stewart, and Jacob, whenever they did the X-Men retrospective series back in 2011, I think is when X-Men First Class came out, they were like, oh, hey, best X-Men film, right? I'm like, no. Did you see Days of Future Past? Which obviously they hadn't. But it's not the best X-Men film. It's good, but it's not the best. OG X-Men, X2, major improvement, and X3, a kind of a step backwards, but I still like it. The Wolverine, much better sequel to X-Men Origins Wolverine. Here's some discs from a Spider-Man cartoon series that aired in 2003 between Spider-Man and Spider-Man 2. It's called Spider-Man the New Animated Series. I have the Mutant Menace and the Ultimate Face-Off. Oddly enough, Spider-Man here was voiced by Neil Patrick Harris. Just a little tidbit for you there. Star Wars Episode 2 Attack of the Clones on full screen. Oh boy. Revenge of the Sith on full screen. My parents bought those back in the day, and they were like, here you go, you can have them. I was like, okay. Star Wars Trilogy bonus material. I bought this off eBay years ago. That came in the 2004 DVD box set of the original trilogy, whenever that first hit DVD. Star Wars The Clone Wars. I like that film. Star Wars The Clone Wars: The Galaxy Divided. This includes 4 episodes from the TV series The Clone Wars. The complete Season 1, which kind of renders A Galaxy Divided kind of useless. Complete Season 2. Season 3. I have a lot of TV shows in this collection. Season 4 and Season 5. The Clone Wars is honestly probably one of my favorite TV series of all time. Star Wars Rebels, Spark of Rebellion. This includes the series premiere / Season 1 premiere, which was titled Spark of Rebellion. And the Star Wars Trilogy, which is the original trilogy, which my parents also bought back in the day, and they were like, here you go, you can have it. I don't really need it now. I have the films on Blu-ray, but, Alright, folks, here we are. The Blu-rays. 2 giant stacks. Let's see, we'll start with this stack up in front, the one that I'm wiggling, alright? We have Edge of Tomorrow. Pretty underrated film from 2014. Not a lot of people saw it. Oh boy, Die Hard 5. I still have not seen that film all the way through. You guys don't know, I got that for Christmas 2013. I got about halfway through it and I turned it off because it was so horrible. Crank, over-the-top crazy action. It was alright. Blade Runner, I did not understand this film. I don't understand why people think it's a sci-fi classic. It's honestly really boring. Argo, a great historical film. One of Ben Affleck's best. Spectre. Exodus, Gods and Kings. The Expendables 3, not a good sequel at all to The Expendables, the worst Expendables film. The World's End, I have not seen this yet. I just picked this up at Best Buy the other day, and I have yet to see it. Oh hey, we've already seen this here. It's Iron Man again, but this time it's been upgraded to Blu-ray. That's right guys, I've actually upgraded some stuff. The Incredible Hulk, with the green case. I didn't want the 2012 reprint with the blue case. I got the green one. Iron Man 2. Thor with the Best Buy exclusive slipcover. It's pretty neat. Captain America the First Avenger. And if you're wondering where my Captain America the First Avenger DVD is, well, it's actually inside of here. Take that little insert out. There it is, right there. This actually only came with the Blu-ray when I bought it off eBay. And I just put my DVD in there. So it worked out pretty well. And The Avengers to round out Phase 1. This was actually the first MCU film I upgraded to Blu-ray. I was like, I gotta get The Avengers. Iron Man 3. Got the gold slipcover version because I like that poster better than the blue one. Thor, The Dark World. Captain America the Winter Soldier. These are the films I already had on Blu-ray. So that ends the upgrades for right now. Guardians of the Galaxy. Avengers Age of Ultron. Ant-Man. Captain America Civil War. Doctor Strange. And one of the most recent Blu-rays I've added to my collection, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2. I have not had time to sit down and rewatch this yet either. I'll probably do that after I get through the rest of the MCU. I've kind of been doing a retrospective series, because as I was getting the MCU films on Blu-ray, I was re-watching them. I was like, oh, hey, after I got past Thor The Dark World, I was like, alright, I'll watch Captain America 2, and then I watched Guardians of the Galaxy. Yesterday I watched Avengers Age of Ultron, so now I'm on Ant-Man. So I can't watch Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 2 yet. It's a rule that I've set for myself. The Terminator. Terminator 2. Sequel was better than the first one. Terminator 3. It's good. Terminator Salvation, not good at all. Hate that film. Terminator Genisys was good when I first saw it, but it has lost some of its value, I guess you could say. First Blood, first of the Rambo films. First Blood Part 2, or Rambo First Blood Part 2, my apologies. Rambo 3, and then just Rambo, which is Rambo 4. Rambo, I think, is the best of the 4 Rambo films. RoboCop, oh man, one of my favorite films of all time. I love RoboCop. And the 2014 remake, it was okay. It's actually one of the better remakes, if I'm going to be honest. John Wick, honestly one of the best action films I have seen in a long time. The Hunger Games, Catching Fire, almost knocked that stack over, that would have been bad. And Mockingjay Part 1. Don't have Part 2 yet, I am trying to get it. Inception, one of Christopher Nolan's best films. Christopher Nolan, man, he's probably one of my favorite directors working in Hollywood right now. The man's genius. Rise of the Planet of the Apes and Dawn of the Planet of the Apes. I have seen the original Planet of the Apes from 1968, but I like the reboots better. And I did not get a chance to see War for the Planet of the Apes in theaters. I want to see it whenever it hits Blu-ray, though, because Dawn of the Planet of the Apes was fantastic. X-Men Origins Wolverine. That was, oddly enough, that was my second Blu-ray I ever purchased. My first one you'll be seeing here pretty soon. X-Men Days of Future Past, the best X-Men film. Completely trumps First Class. X-Men Apocalypse. It's entertaining. I really like it. I don't see why people hate it. I've never actually heard a justified argument for why people hate Apocalypse so much. Deadpool. Oh, man. I don't know if I would put this in my top 10 films of all time, but it's definitely one of my best theater experiences of all time. I laughed hysterically throughout that entire film. Now here's my favorite film of 2017 so far, Logan. This knocked out the Days of Future Past as my third favorite film of all time. This is now number 3 because this film is just spectacular. If you have not seen Logan yet, see it, please. And if you refuse to see it because, oh, you think it's depressing, see it anyway, man. It's great. The entire Back to the Future trilogy, the Steelbook. This was not my first Steelbook, but it was my second. My first Steelbook was Jurassic Park, which is Jurassic Park's probably one of my favorite films of all time as well. Like number 8 or 7 or something. Jurassic World, the first great sequel to Jurassic Park. 2 and 3 are just awful. The Lego Batman movie. That was a great start to 2017, seeing that in theaters. I laughed so much throughout that. And a great sequel to the Lego movie. Man of Steel, my first Blu-ray that I ever received from anybody. I got that for Christmas, and it's an okay DC film. It was their best film until Wonder Woman came out. Oh boy, Batman v Superman Dawn of Justice. I bought this the day it came out on Blu-ray, and yeah, it's bad. I was really hyped to watch it for a second time whenever I bought it, because I was like, oh, maybe it's not as bad as I remember. No, it's as bad as I remember. And to round out this stack, Suicide Squad. An improvement over Batman v Superman, but still not particularly good. Alright, everybody, we've gotten through about 5 stacks now. We're finally on the last one. My knees are killing me because I've been sitting in a crisscross motion throughout this entire video. But I don't care. We're going to get through this together as friends, as followers, as fans. Alright, let's do this. Air Force One. Pretty underrated action film. Not a lot of people talk about it. It's Die Hard in an airplane. Men in Black 3, the best Men in Black film. Men in Black 1 was alright. I've already said that Men in Black 2 was terrible. We've got our HD DVDs up here. Just go ahead and grab them. There they all are. Got The Bourne Identity, The Italian Job, Harry Potter and the Order of the Phoenix. This one's actually a HD DVD and DVD combo pack, so I can actually watch that. The Departed, Black Rain, starring Hank Pym, Michael Douglas, Red Dragon, which is apparently a Hannibal Lecter film. I had no idea about that. And 300, still in its packaging, has never been opened. I put my HD DVDs in this collection video every year because, well, they're films, and I own them. They're just on a particularly weird format. That didn't last very long. Kung Fu Panda 3, the Peanuts movie. Did not see that in theaters, but I wanted to, but I'm super happy I bought it on Blu-ray. They were so faithful to the original Peanuts source material. I cannot believe how good the Peanuts movie was. American Sniper, Sin City, one of the best graphic novel films I've seen. Ferris Bueller's Day Off, Bueller, Collateral, an amazing thrill ride of a film, and one of Tom Cruise's best performances. And The Italian Job, now I have seen it, and it's alright. Haven't seen it in a few years, though. Transformers, Revenge of the Fallen, and Transformers Dark of the Moon. Don't own Transformers 4, I hate that film. And I will not be buying Transformers 5 because I hate that film as well. How does Michael Bay get away with making the exact same film 5 times? I do not understand it. Inglourious Bastards, Django Unchained. It's really a toss-up whether Django or Pulp Fiction is the best Quentin Tarantino film for me. They're both amazing. And also, Steelbook. Got that at Best Buy for a reduced price of $8. And strangely enough, you guys know Anchor Bay, the company who used to put out the Thomas and Friends DVDs and VHS tapes? Well, now they've moved on to Django Unchained. I just kind of found that really hilarious the first time I saw that. Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol. You guys already saw Mission Impossible 2 and 3. Have those on DVD. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation. That's the best Mission Impossible film. Cars. I upgraded Cars to Blu-ray because Cars is probably my favorite Pixar franchise. I know, don't shoot me. I'm not saying they're the best Pixar films. They're not. Toy Story, The Incredibles obviously trump Cars. But they're my personal favorites. I grew up loving the first Cars. I loved this film. And then I saw Cars 2 in theaters and thought it was a major improvement over Cars 1. But they're both really, really good films in their own right. And I saw Cars 3 twice in theaters, and man, was Cars 3 great. And I will be buying Cars 3 on release day. So that's the main reason why I upgraded Cars 1 and Cars 2 to Blu-rays, because they're both some of my favorite films of all time. So suck it, Mr. MPS. The Cars franchise is not trash. Ghost Rider Spirit of Vengeance. Don't have the first Ghost Rider. I rented that on Google Play and I hated it, so I don't know. Will I watch Spirit of Vengeance? Maybe. The Fugitive. ID4 Independence Day. Another Jeff Goldblum film like Jurassic Park. There are aliens coming to invade Earth. Shaun of the Dead. Finally got a chance to pick this up in its steelbook form from Best Buy at a reduced price of $6. Sadly, though, I picked out the one that has a dent in it, of course. But, you know, I have seen it, and it's really good. Hot Fuzz, which is the second installment of the Cornetto trilogy, along with Shaun of the Dead and The World's End. I saw Hot Fuzz first out of all three of those films, and both Hot Fuzz and Shaun of the Dead are great, so I have high hopes for The World's End. Jason Bourne. Jesus Christ, that's Jason Bourne. I love that film just for the meme. Complete Arrow Season 2. This is the only season of Arrow I need, because this is some of the best television I have ever seen in my life. Watch Arrow Season 2. It's amazing. Sean Connery Collection Volume 1. This includes Dr. No, From Russia with Love, and Goldfinger. Haven't seen From Russia with Love. I haven't watched Dr. No or Goldfinger on Blu-ray yet. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, the 90s film, is okay. TMNT, the little animated sequel to Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3, which I guess was an improvement. I personally have never seen Ninja Turtles 3, or 2 for that matter. And then 2014 Reboot. It was okay, not the best Ninja Turtles film. Out of the Shadows was a major improvement. Out of the Shadows is just a fun thrill ride, and that's what the Ninja Turtles films needed to be. Just fun thrill rides. Star Trek Beyond. I think Star Trek Beyond might be the best of the new Trek trilogy. That's hard to say. New Trek trilogy. It's not hard to say, it's just weird. The SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. It was actually a really good sequel to the first SpongeBob film. It took them a little while to actually make it, but it was a good sequel. This bottom part of the stack here is basically all Star Wars, so let's just go ahead and get into it. The prequel trilogy on Blu-ray. I don't know why I said that. Of course it's on Blu-ray. We're in the Blu-ray stack. Lego Star Wars The Padawan Menace. Again, I love those Lego shorts. The Lego team are just great at what they do. Clone Wars Season 6, aka The Lost Missions. Star Wars Rebels Season 1 and Star Wars Rebels Season 2. Rebels Season 3 drops on August the 29th, I think. And it's currently the 27th on the day that I'm filming this, so I'm kind of debating on whether or not I'll pick that up on launch day. Maybe I'll wait a week or so. Rogue One, Star Wars Story, great Star Wars spin-off film. I think it was a great start to the spin-off collection. This is the Target exclusive version with the changeable covers and the 3D Blu-ray disc. That really awesome slip cover that's got the Death Star plans on it. This is just Target, man. You're killing it with these Star Wars exclusives. The original trilogy and Star Wars The Force Awakens. Again, Target exclusive version. This one was alright. It has a weird package to it. It's kind of like a cardboard thing that opens up like that. It's not a traditional Blu-ray case, but, you know, it has exclusive bonus content that you can only get online through Target, so I had to pick it up from there just for that. And to round out this collection video, complete Indiana Jones Blu-ray box set. I have finally seen Crystal Skull. I gotta say, it's not good, but it's also not terrible. I mean, it is definitely not a worthy sequel, but it's not a horrible mess of a film like a lot of people say it is. So I know a lot of you are expecting a giant mess down here on the floor, because during these collection videos, I usually just throw all of my discs into a giant pile behind me, but this year I was actually good, and I put them in stacks this year. I know, different, right? So this is all of it, guys. This is my entire DVD plus Blu-ray collection plus HD DVD extravaganza collection. It doesn't look like a lot because they're all in stacks, but trust me, if it was a giant pile, it would be a whole hell of a lot harder to put away. So I did a public service to myself this year. This will be easier to put up. So anyway, guys, I want to thank you all for watching the 2017 edition of my complete Blu-ray / DVD collection video. I want to thank you all again for watching, and as always, good night, everybody.